Wait for some more people to get up in here. Dude, this trade is massive for NY though. This trade is massive for NY, dude. All right, so if you haven't, is there anybody in here yet? We got anybody in here yet? Use. Yo, is anybody in this live right now? My thing's kind of being weird, so I can't view. But I thought he'd hop on live and just talk about this trade with Dexter Lawrence, dude. Like, shit kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, we talked about it the other day. We've been, we've all been seeing news about Dexter Lawrence being traded and stuff. But and once we saw the news, once I saw the news, it said that he like it had nothing to do with money with Dexter Lawrence. Wanting out of NY. I was like, oh, he's not gonna be there then, because that it's if it's not money, then it's like then what is it? So I don't know. It's kind of just came out of nowhere. But let's see what Schefter said about. Well, actually, Ian Rappaport rap sheet. Okay, so Ian Rappaport, has he not tweeted on it? No, he tweeted on it because I saw it earlier. Rappaport. Let's see what Ian Rappaport said. He may have all the details. Yeah, so Giants are trading Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals in exchange for 10th overall pick in this next week's NFL draft. That's huge. It's huge, dude. Like, okay, so Dexter Lawrence going to the Cincinnati Bengals. That's good for the Cincinnati Bengals, right? But the Cincinnati Bengals just got rid of their own pass rusher, right? And now, so they don't have anybody good on the edge as of right now, proven, right? But now they got Sexy Dexy in the middle, and it's like the Bengals, if they would have kept, if they would have kept their own pass rusher, who they got rid of. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't really know how much better this is gonna be for the Cincinnati Bengals. I just don't. You know? It's like they get rid of Trey Hendrickson, right? And then it's like, well, they don't have a pass rush. In Cincinnati Bengals, their defense already struggles, right? So they get rid of the outside they get rid of the edge, and now they're adding somebody in the middle. And it's like it's good, but it's like Dexter Lawrence like was not good this past season. And I still think Sexy Dexy, yes, sir, Sexy Dexy. I still think Sexy Dexy is good, but I have concerns because it was like this past season he just wasn't playing good. Now, do I think he could return to like what we used to watch, right, from Sexy Dexy? I do, but this past season, right now he's like 28. He just did not play good. Like Dexter Lawrence did not play good. So it's pretty interesting from the Bengals perspective. But morally, I look at it from the New York Giants perspective, and that's where this trade is massive. It's massive, dude. It really is. Um, you look at what they're trying to build right now with the New York Giants, and they make a trade like that, and they get rid of Sexy Dexy. Let's not act like this New York Giants team doesn't have other good guys on their lineup. You know what I mean? Like they got Thibodeau, they got Abdul Carter, they got Burns, they got guys on that defensive line. And we've seen like Thibodeau, he's been in like trade talks. I remember people possibly talking about him being traded, and maybe that's still a possibility. But I'm like, they still got good guys on that defensive line. And this is a team that's trying to improve and get better. Now, like what are the Giants? What pick were they before? So let me see. I'm pretty sure were they 5 New York Giants draft picks. So let me see. Draft picks 2026. So I'm pretty sure they were 5 last time I checked. Yeah. So they're fifth. So they have the fifth overall pick, and now they have the 10th. They got two selections. They got two selections within the top 10. And so it just changes things, dude. It's like the Giants could do so many things with that other draft pick. You know what I mean? Like before, it's like, oh, hey, we have this one draft pick. They're probably strategizing around that, like who they're going to go out and get. But now they got two draft picks in the top 10. I'm just like, oh, shit. I'm like, this kind of, whoo, it's like, kind of look out for the Giants because it's like, what are they going to do with that other pick? I'm extremely excited. I am extremely excited. It's like they could literally draft a wide receiver if they wanted to. Just think about that. I don't know if they're gonna do that, but they could literally get their pick that they were gonna, who they're thinking they're gonna pick at 5, right? But now they got that other luxury pick at 10. They could draft another wide receiver, one of these wide receivers we've been talking about, possibly Cardinal Tate. Like Cardinal Tate is, I see some people saying he's like the guy that could go number one, right? I think Cardinal Tate's the best wide receiver, but I also think a couple of these other guys could be good. But if the New York Giants go out there and get Cardinal Tate, you know, with that 10th pick or something, or whatever they want to do with those picks, we're talking about a completely different New York Giants offense. You know, you got Malik Neighbors coming back, you got Cam Scatterboo coming back, you got Tyrone Tracy backing up Scatterboo. This team, this New York Giants team becomes very, very interesting in my opinion. Very interesting. I'm just like, oh shit, man. Like, I just did not see this coming. And I hope there's some New York Giants fans that hop up in the chat and just kind of talk about it because I don't know. It's exciting. It's really exciting. And then we talked about earlier, of course. We talked about the Cincinnati Bengals. And I just think that this leans more like at the end of the day, I think that the New York Giants are gonna win this trade. Right off the bat. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And I could be wrong because when it comes to trades, we got to see how these things play out, right? Like these trades, um, just got to see how it works out through the course of a season, even the off season. There's just so many things that go into it. I don't want the Giants to steal Cardinal from my Steelers. Dude, I'm telling you. I see that's what I'm saying. And you see what I'm seeing now, right? Like they could literally draft another wide receiver right next to Malik Neighbors. And if they drafted a Cardinal Tate away from the Pittsburgh Steelers or whoever, Pittsburgh Steelers are a little bit later, right? But like there's other wide receivers as well. It makes this offense really interesting. Very interesting. The only thing I don't like about this offense currently is Nagy. I don't like Nagy for a young guy like Jackson Dart who has so much potential. It just kind of bothers me. But hell, man, hey, maybe Nagy will be good, but I just don't. I just don't really know how I feel about it. I just don't really know how I feel about it, and I have like high hopes for Jackson Dart. I think he could be pretty good this upcoming year. But this changes everything for them, dude. It does. Are there any New York Giants fans in the watching this right now? I'm just curious. Because if you're in this, I just want to know your opinion. But oh, dude, shit, man, I gotta look up a little bit more on this. Gotta look up a little bit more on this. But no, like I said, for the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm like I said, you guys get rid of Trey Hendrickson. Now you guys are getting Sexy Dexy. And going back to Sexy Dexy, like let's just look at Dexter Lawrence's let's look at his stats this past season. Cause he wasn't good. And I talked about this on another live. He just, dude, I was like, oh shit. I was like, he really didn't play that good this past season. Let's look at it real quick. Premium stats. Dexter Lawrence. And that's what I'm saying, man. They just have so many people on that defensive line. Getting rid of a guy like Dexter Lawrence, it's like, what? Is it really that bad? You know what I mean? Like, like I said, he's like 28. This past season, Dexter Lawrence had 0 sacks. He had 7 hits, 27 hurries. Like he was decent. He was decent in the run game because he's a good run stopper, along with being like good at interior pressure. But I don't know. I just don't really think that the New York Giants are gonna lose sleep in this shit, in my opinion. But for the Cincinnati Bengals, though, it's like I said, you guys are adding a guy, but unless you don't have that outside rushing threat like you guys had before with Trey Hendrickson, it's like how much better is that defensive line getting? At the end of the day, if you want to be a competitive defense, it's like, yeah, on the back end, like some of the Cincinnati Bengals defensive backs are really not that bad. You look at their linebackers. I don't know about the linebacker position, but on the defensive line, you just watch it. It's like they're just not getting enough pressure up front. You get pressure up front. Linebackers play good, the whole front seven, and then the defensive backs on the back end. They benefit from that. And Cincinnati Bengals defensive backs just haven't been able to benefit from that. So it's interesting. Let's go back and see if we can find any more information on this trade. I just want to know where things got sour for Dexter Lawrence and the New York Giants. You know what I mean? It's like Dexter Lawrence has been there. They're getting John Harbaugh, like a coach that a lot of the fan base is excited about. A lot of people think is a really good move. I mean, this is probably this is honestly the best coach that the New York Giants have had since Coughlin. And the fact that Dexter Lawrence doesn't want to be there anymore with like all this excitement going on with Jackson Dart. Like, you guys got this young QB bringing a lot of excitement. You guys got all these like guys on the defensive line. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, what's really going on there? Like, what happened? Because some shit to go down like this, like, what has it been, like a week and a half, 2 weeks of Dexter Lawrence, us hearing about how he's not happy. Then they trade him like this right before the draft. I was like, there must have been some shit, you know? I'm just like, are there other players that are frustrated? Other vets that are frustrated? I assume not, maybe, but it's just really interesting how fast things went south for Dexter Lawrence and the New York Giants, in my opinion. See if we can find anything else on this. Yeah, and so I'm like reading right here from Ian Rappaport. It says Giants GM Joe Shane flew to Arizona to attend Jordan Tyson's workout yesterday. Um, and their GM had dinner with Tyson night before. Um, I don't really know if they would take Jordan Tyson that high. I don't know. I like just everything I've read. It sounds like Jordan Tyson could drop in the first round, but it still sounds like he's a first round selection. So I don't know. Maybe this is where things get interesting, right? So like the New York Giants, they acquire that pick from the Cincinnati Bengals, and so now it's like they got flexibility too because they don't even have to take that top 10 pick. Like they could literally trade down a couple picks, 3 picks, and then they just acquire more picks. You know what I mean? And like there's teams that we see like the Rams where they don't care to like unload their picks. Like they're just like going for it. They're going for it, trying to get the Super Bowl. The Rams are in an entirely different situation than the New York Giants. The New York Giants are in a scenario right now where they're actively building out their roster, and their roster is really not that far away. It's not like just a couple tweaks here and there, and they could be contenders, especially with good coaching offensively. But like I'm just saying, like you put them in a spot now where they have pick 5, pick 10. Let's say they trade down like 2 or 3 picks. They acquire even more picks in this draft. You know what I mean? Just bring on more young guys to kind of just like fill out this roster. And so I don't know. This is it's just interesting. It's just very interesting from the New York Giants perspective, in my opinion. Trade down with my Steelers so we could take Tyson. What's a Steelers pick though, dude? You guys made the playoffs. You guys got to be pretty far down, yeah. What's the Pittsburgh Steelers pick? Pittsburgh Steelers pick, draft pick. Dude, hey man, you guys wouldn't even need a wide receiver anyway. You guys are the 21st pick. You guys just got Pittman from Indianapolis. You guys got DK Metcalf. Like, I don't think you guys really need another wide receiver, in my opinion. But that's just me. Do you really think you need another weapon? I mean, hell, having luxuries, having a plethora of freaking wide receivers for your quarterback, that's good. But it's like you guys don't even know. Like, I guess Aaron Rodgers. It sounded like Aaron Rodgers is gonna be the guy. But yeah, I don't know if you guys need another wide receiver. I don't feel like that's a need. We have pick 21. We have 12 picks this year, 3/3. Oh shit. 3/3. 3/3, dude. Shady likes to eat says Pittsburgh Steelers have 3/3. I didn't even realize that, bro. That's crazy. Let me see. Steelers draft picks 2026. I'm gonna use one of those on a QB. All right, so the Pittsburgh Steelers looks like they have uh pick one. So they have their round one pick, 1 and 2, multiple, and yeah, they got 3/3. Then they got 2 4s, 1 5th, 1 6th, 3 7ths. Is that what I'm reading? Shit, man. You guys could really do some things with those picks. But yeah, I don't know. How good do you guys think Dexter Lawrence is gonna be for them though? I'm just curious. How good do you think Dexter Lawrence is gonna be for the Cincinnati Bengals? Is it going like is this gonna make their defense better? It will in the interior. Like I'm positive of that. Like I don't know about Dexter Lawrence coming back to what we've watched from him as a pass rushing aspect, but as in the run game and like stuffing things up the middle, I'm sure he'll be good. But I'm not saying he can't get back to what he was as a pass rusher up the middle in the interior. But I'm like, he didn't have a good year. He didn't have a good year. Shady likes to eat says one from Pickens, trade our normal one and a comp pick. Oh yeah, yeah. Just what I read. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. You guys have a lot of freaking picks. You guys have a lot of picks. When word spread around the league, the Giants were likely getting a first round pick for. Dude, I'm gonna be real with you. Like Dexter Lawrence. Okay, so I thought that teams would be able to have some like leverage with Dexter Lawrence with him having a down year. Okay, I guess that's kind of crazy, right? Because Dexter Lawrence is still technically a star, but I just felt that teams would have more leverage with him having a down year. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think that the Giants would get like a top 10 pick from a team in exchange for a first round pick. I was just like, I don't know if they'll get that, but I was like, I could see another team trading, but hey man, Giants GM Joe, he did a good job in this trade in my opinion. You get a top 10 pick, gives you so much flexibility what you can do with that 5 and 10. But yeah, I don't know. I just didn't think that Dexter Lawrence was gonna like get like that. I didn't think his price tag was like that high. So good job on the Giants GM, man. I don't know how much power structure he has right now with John Harbaugh. I don't really know with that, but it's a good trade. Let's see what people are saying about the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's see if they're saying similar stuff to what I'm saying. Cincinnati Bengals. Yo, if you're watching the stream, be sure to drop a like. Be sure to subscribe to your boy. Drop a like so we can push it out into the algorithm. I'm small and shit. Push it out into the algorithm, man. We need to get more people on here so we can get more shit to talk about. Because I just want to turn this live into, obviously talking about this trade, but we can talk about some more things that we see in today's NFL news. Yeah, draft. Okay, so Adam Schefter finally tweeted about it. Well, I guess he tweeted about it 26 minutes ago. He says Giants are trading three-time Pro Bowler, defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals in a deal that will include 10th overall pick to New York. Giants now head into Thursday night with the 5th and 10th overall picks. Wow. Wow, dude. That's like fireworks. It really is. Let's look. Bengals are trading. No. Oh, for the Steelers fan that's in here, does Dexter Lawrence does he move you going to the Cincinnati Bengals for their defense? I'm just curious. Like, let me know in the chat. I'm just like curious what your opinion is, about you guys going up against Dexter Lawrence in this upcoming year, especially if it's old Aaron Rod. A Rod, dude. I still love A Rod, but A Rod's getting old, bro. You know what I mean? Shady likes to. He says I was expecting 24 from the Browns. Not gonna lie. Yeah. I don't know. When it comes to the Browns, you just never really know. Let's see what else they're saying. See if we can get up anything else. Cincinnati Bengals. Dexter Lawrence. I just want to know if their fans is excited. It's like a blockbuster. I want to know how excited their fans are next. Schefter said Cincinnati believed that Dexter Lawrence would be more impactful this season in a big year than a 10th overall pick in this draft. Bengals didn't wait to get aggressive. I don't know. I don't know, man. Because going back to what I said earlier, it's like the Cincinnati Bengals, their defense they don't have pressure on the edge. You know what I mean? It's like having a good defensive tackle and like a pass rush through the middle and like a run stopper, that is good. Because literally watched it with the Dallas Cowboys, but it was like the Dallas Cowboys defense still sucked, and they didn't have a good edge rush. It's like if you don't have a good edge rush, then what chance do you really have? You don't have another good guy opposite Dexter. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Let me see. Shady likes to eat says no. I don't care because like it's the Bengals. It's like they got one diamond and the rest of the D sucks. So I'm not worried. So I'm not moved. No, here's the thing though. Here's the thing when it comes to the Bengals defense. I don't think the I don't think the Bengals defense is entirely all bad. I don't. They are bad as a unit, but I don't necessarily think that whole defense is bad. I really don't, dude. Like freaking Turner, freaking DJ Turner. I think DJ Turner is a phenomenal corner. I think he's really good. You know, look at a guy like Dax Hill. Dax Hill's all right. He's nothing spectacular, but I do think Dax Hill is all right. Could they be better on that side? Opposite of DJ, absolutely. But I don't think everybody on that defense is bad. I don't. They got Miles Murphy. Miles Murphy's good. He's solid. BJ Hill. BJ Hill can ball. You know what? I mentioned the interior. BJ Hill and Dexter Lawrence. That actually could be pretty good. That actually could be pretty good. Completely forgot about him. She likes to eat. I think Darnell Washington does. Wait, what? What do you mean? What? Why are you bringing up Darnell Washington? That's what I'm confused by. What do you mean by that? Explain a little bit. Also, other people get up in the chat, help our boy out. He's feeding the whole thing. He's feeding the whole thing. Straight up player for a pig. And also this trade happened right before the draft, right? So we got till Thursday. We got till Thursday. So we got this weekend, and then we got the draft on Thursday. Um, okay. Hold up on that. Hold up on that. Shady likes to eat says, I don't know, maybe Shamar Stewart is decent. Maybe he might be, but for right now, he looks like it's just a major question mark. But where was I going with that? Freaking lost my train of thought. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So in my last stream, I talked about it. So the freaking what team am I thinking about, dude? What team am I thinking about? I'm like Googling so like I don't forget, you know what I mean? Like I know the names just like off the top of my head on talking to you guys. I just like forget. But Brett Beach, I just saw that he said not long ago, it was like less than a week ago or something, maybe a little bit more than a week. He said that he thinks this draft there's gonna be fireworks. So he's expecting a lot of like trades and shit in this draft. And he said especially in the first round. So just look at your team. Like, do you think that they might trade with another team? It's a possibility. Could happen. It could happen. But I do find that interesting, dude. If I were the Giants, I would trade back in this draft. I would. I would, dude. Like, what? Why not? They already got that. They weren't even expecting to have that pick, and now I'm like, dude, just acquire more picks. Why not? Dude, you guys, I was like, you guys are like a couple holes away from like being a pretty damn good roster. I think it's more, offensive coaching than it is their roster, in my opinion. I think whoever is that offensive coach, that's what it'll come down to. And that I don't know, maybe the defensive coach too. Maybe, that might be who knows how that'll go. I'm more worried about the offense with Jackson Dart under Nagy. And so I'm like, dude, get fucking a bunch of extra players in this draft. Like, get good fast, especially in the NFC East. Especially in the NFC East, dude. If you guys are playing catch up to the Washington Commanders, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys, you guys are behind right now in the race. I'm like, you guys could literally boost your roster in one draft if you play it right, if you play your cards right. I don't know. Yeah, like I'm like watching a video with Dexter Lawrence right now. But Dexter Lawrence just was not himself this past year. He wasn't. Like, did any of you guys watch Dexter Lawrence? I did. Like, I watched a decent amount of Giants games, and I was just like, he was not playing like himself. That like I said earlier, maybe he gets back to playing like what we used to watch. But I was like, he didn't play good this past season, and that's another thing about him going to the Cincinnati Bengals. Their defensive coordinator, I don't think he's good. I don't think he's good. And so adding Dexter Lawrence, I'm like, how much is that gonna help? Stream shared. Well, I'm like new to streaming and shit. I don't know how to share it. I don't know how to like split or anything. I'm sorry. Is that what you were saying? Sorry, man. Maybe another time. Maybe another time. Sub up and shit. And then we could try to do a stream with the both of us or something. But I'm just learning streaming right now. Like literally the past week is the only time I've like tried it. I guess I did it when I first got on YouTube, but I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Could be a top CB at 10 or a trade back for more picks. Yeah. Um, how do you say your name, bro? Miggity Mars? Miggity Mars, bro. He said could be a top CB at 10 or trade back for more picks. I agree. I agree. And you know what? I didn't think of that. They should select a corner. They should select a corner. But in this draft, um are people expecting like I haven't really been looking at mock drafts if I'm being real with you. This is like the first year in the fact that I do YouTube. It's like what the fuck, shady. But I just haven't really been looking at mock drafts, bro. I've just been looking at a lot of the prospects and like watching stuff. But that's let me just look at a mock draft, dude, because I'm curious now that you say that. Mock draft, just a random one, 2026. It's that LSU kid, right? Trying to think of his name. Let me see. Let me see. All right, let's see what we got. I'm just doing a random ass fucking mock draft. Let's see if there's a corner in the top 10. Yeah, yeah, the LSU corner, Delane. They got him going. So I see a mock draft right here, and they have him going to the Washington Commanders. But I'm like, well, yeah, yeah. Miggity Mars, you make a good point. Delane could be available at 10. So now with the Giants, dude. Okay, and this is like the foundation of good teams. This is the foundation of good teams. Good teams like I'm just bringing up my team in general, right? So you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, you look at the Seattle Seahawks, you look at some of these teams in the past, old Seattle Seahawks, and dude, I'm trying to think of all the teams off the top of my head, but I was talking about a bunch of teams that nah, I get what you're saying, Shady Likes D. I get what you're saying. My just dumb ass just didn't comprehend what you're saying. But when you if you can build out your team from the draft and not so much free agency, you're much better in the long term. And there's a good chance that you could go pretty far in the playoffs, just from what we've seen. If you can build out your defense and your defense is good, you could go pretty far. So the Giants selecting a cornerback, that would be great for them. It really would. That's exactly what they should do. Because in the last draft, they went Abdul Carter, and then they go Delane in this draft. I'm like, oh hell yeah. And dude, when it comes to SEC defensive backs, bro, I'm all game. I know a lot of people like to shit on the SEC and talk a lot of shit, but when it comes to defensive players in the SEC, maybe that set team didn't perform in the conference that year, but bro, I swear, whenever you get those defensive guys out on the field, it's like the hit rate is so high. Even if they fall off after 2 to 3 years, but I feel like that first year, you just see potential, right? And it's all about just like the player bringing it out and the coaching staff. So I would really, that's a good point. I think the Giants should do that. They should do that. Dude, got a couple more things. Don't today, bro. Keep dropping shit in that chat. I'll just literally work off it, you know? I'm new to streaming, so if I suck, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get better, all right? I'm used to making videos all the time. But it's something that I'm trying to do. I just like to like interact with you guys at the same time. That's the number one thing, dude. So like there was this anybody dude, anybody back in the day would know. There was I think it's still an app too, but it's not the same. So U Stadium, back in the day, dude, we sit and talk shit football on there and whatnot, dude. It was so much fun. So lives like this, it's just a really good way to go back and forth. And like, yeah, I'm making videos, but I'm not the end all be all. You know what I mean? Like, not any content creator is the end all be all. You guys also fucking know football. So I love your guys' opinions as well. Trade Dart, 5 and 10 for Mendoza. Whoa! Shady likes to eat. Calm down, bro. Calm down. I like Jackson Dart. I like Jackson Dart. Let's simmer down. Defensive tackle is a massive need now. Massive need now. Practically guaranteed to be our second round pick by Miggity Mars. Well, are you a Giants fan? Are you a Giants fan, Miggity Mars? And if you are a Giants fan, how excited are you about this trade? Like, did you want to get rid of Dexter Lawrence? Just curious. See what other guys they got in that top 10. Oh, yep. You're a Giants fan, Miggity Mars. Okay, I got you. I got you. Well, I mean, McCoy from Tennessee is also a good corner. I really like McCoy as well. I do. What do you think about him? I know some people get like upset with like okay, Shady likes he says no, my team's just boring every year, so I see what other teams say. I feel that. I feel that. Dude, here's the thing. The Pittsburgh Steelers are not a boring team, dude. You guys are stuck in a weird spot. And you guys need a QB. That's been one of my largest things when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm like, dude, they need a fucking they need a QB. You can't be doing this shit without a QB. So we got 50s. Dude, I see I'm so new to streaming. I'm like trying to like see how many people are in this live right now. I have no idea. I don't. I have no idea. But yeah, I you know what? I take that back. I don't even think the Giants should trade out of that spot now. I really don't. I think they should take a corner. I think they should take a corner. So either they trade okay, so either they trade down a couple picks with 5, I'd say. Maybe trade a couple picks down with 5 and go to like 7 or 8 if any team is looking to do that. Or maybe trade down from you know what I mean? Like either pick 5 or 10, possibly trade down and shit, acquire more picks. And I'm sure a lot of Giants fans would agree with that. Like they're just like we just need more guys on our squad to fill some of these holes. Miggity Mars says, Giants fan. I wanted to keep him. I wanted to keep him, but he didn't want to be here anymore. Getting the 10th overall for him when he was never going to play for us was a good deal. Absolutely, absolutely. I entirely agree with that. And something I mentioned earlier, Miggity Mars, is that I'm like, what exactly like went down? You know, like why did things get so sour with the New York Giants for Dexter Lawrence to not even want to be there anymore? I'm like, dude, you guys got good players on that defensive line. Makes absolutely zero sense in my opinion. Shady Likes D says McCoy is better than Delane. I really like both. I really like both, so I'm not gonna say one is better than the other. Let's see. Let's go back to X and see what they're saying on X. Okay. What do you guys think? Okay, so the Giants, now that they have this pick, right? They could get sexy with it, like we talked about, right? So like sexy Dexy. But no, they could get crazy with it. You know what I mean? Like they could go so let's just look at some of these wide receivers. Wide receivers in the NFL draft 2026. But I know a lot of people talking about Jordan Tyson. I mean, I don't know about Jordan Tyson though, that high. Because Cardinal Tate seems like the clear cut guy as the best wide receiver for me, in my opinion. Like, wouldn't you guys agree? Well, let's look at the list though. So I keep forgetting these guys. Let me see. We got Lemon. We got Carnell Tate. We got Jordan Tyson. We got homeboy from Washington. Dude, I just don't remember those names like some people. Because, like, I watch college football, but remembering people is not one of my best attributes. You know what I mean? Phil, why is he draft board? So, NFL draft 2026. Wide receivers. Shady likes to eat says, actually, no, I prefer Tyson. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we got Makai Lemon, Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, and then I mean you get into the okay, so then you get into the nitty gritty a little bit, right? So you go into how do you say his name? Conception? Is that how you say that kid's name? Um, I always mispronounce it, but Chris Brazell, wide receiver for Tennessee, and then Denzel Boston, the Washington wide receiver, and then you got Cooper from Indiana, and then Chris Bell from Louisville, and then after that, it's just kind of like, I don't know, but I truly do believe that Carnell Tate is the best wide receiver. I do. I think he's gonna follow up with the type of shit that we've seen from other Ohio State wide receivers. Is it lagging for you guys on your end? It's like telling me it's like bad connection or whatever. Just curious. But no, I really do think that Cardinal Tate is gonna follow up with all these other Ohio State wide receivers that we watched. Right? I just do. It's wide receiver you, man. Shady likes to. He says, for y'all, I think Tate's a bona fide wide receiver too. Um, he'll be better for y'all. Also, Jordan Tyson on MetLife doesn't feel right. Dude, that MetLife Stadium is bad, bro. That MetLife Stadium was bad. Yeah, bro, we've seen a lot of injuries on that field, haven't we? People talk about it. The players are open about it too. The players have been super open about it. But no, if the Giants pick another wide receiver and one of these wide receivers in this draft and they go opposite of Malik Neighbors, some of these teams corners, if you don't have two good corners, let alone one, because some teams don't, you could be looking at some serious problem. You could be looking at some serious problems, on the back end if your pass defense isn't all that good. Darren Schmaler says Sony at 5 and Downs at 10. Shit. They could front load that defense, man. I'm telling you. That's something I talked about earlier. And right? So I didn't think about this. Look up something real quick. Hold up. So Sony. Here's the thing. Okay. This is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets interesting with Darren Schmaler, how he said Sony at 5 and Downs at 10. Okay? If you get I watched this with the Eagles. I literally watched this with the Eagles with a bunch of Georgia players. They just balled out altogether. Say you get Styles, right? Say you get say you get say you get Sony and say you get Downs. You get both of them as teammates. Bro, you got some, like, you know what I mean? You got teammates that kind of know each other's vibe and stuff. It brings another level of swagger to your defense. It does. And the Giants already have some of that swagger on their defensive line. You add those guys, bro, we're talking about some real shit. We're talking about some real shit. Like, being a fan in division for, like, my Birds, I'd be like, bro, they're getting some dogs on that defensive side. Um, shit, man. It's just crazy. the like endless possibilities that the New York Giants could do with this. You know, there's just so many things they could do to make their squad better, especially on the defensive side. Shady likes D says Joey Porter Jr. and Jamel Dean and Ramsey at safety got it on locks. Joey Porter Jr., Jamel Dean. Oh shit, dude! I forgot you guys got Jamel Dean. Yeah, there was a time period where I really liked watching Jamel Dean at Tampa, but he's been getting kind of banged up a lot, man. He's still a good corner, but he's been getting banged up a lot. Got a lot of people on stream right now. What? Fuck, dude. Like I said, I don't know how to check. Downs won't make it to 10. Got to take him at 5. Miggity Mars says. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Okay, I have a good question for you guys. How good do you guys think this draft is compared to what next year could be? Like, be real with me. Like, how good is this draft compared to what next year could be? Because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I'm excited for this draft. Um, but just hearing the Giants comments, and it's Joe, it's their GM, so I'm not gonna trust everything he says. But maybe not as in terms of all positions, but I will say this: there could be like 4 quarterbacks taken in the first round next year. There could, and you know when it's a quarterback draft, people talk about that draft more. You know. Let me see. Shady likes to eat says how much picks y'all got. Could you trade up? You talk. What team are you talking about trading up? Sorry, man. I was just trying to figure out like which team. Unless you said it earlier and I just missed it. Wonder what Howie's gonna do in this draft. That's what I'm curious about. So we see this trade, right? There's a lot of shit around AJ Brown. How many picks? Yo, God, could you trade up the Giants? Oh yeah. Let's see how many picks the Giants have. Giants to draft picks 2026. So right now, not including the 10 that they just traded for, the Giants had the 5, and then they had the second. They had the second, 37th overall, and then the fourth, 105 overall, and then a fifth, 145th overall, and then 3 sixth. So I don't know. I think this was a good move by the Giants. Yeah, I don't think they should trade up though. Miggity Mars says I wouldn't trade up with 5 and 10. If anything, trade down. Exactly. If anything, trade down and acquire more picks. Like go out and get a third or something or an extra second. I would not trade up if I'm the Giants. The Giants have been bad, but they're not the Cleveland Browns. You know what I mean? Like they know how to operate decent. They're not the Cleveland Browns. And if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, I'm not trying to throw shade. I swear, but let's not play like we don't know. How your team has been operating. The Giants. Let me see. Let's look at the Bengals. I already looked at that. I can't remember if we looked at that in the stream. First, second, third, fourth, sixth, seventh, seventh. They got all their picks. I don't know. They're the type of team that's not going to be too aggressive. But this trade was aggressive for the Cincinnati Bengals, though. I was kind of stunned. I was like, oh shit, they're making moves. I feel like they're just one of those front offices that they're just like not super active in that way. But in today's NFL, if your GM like is not actively trying to do shit, you're at such a disadvantage. You really are, dude, because these GMs, they just don't give a fuck about moving things around. They just want to make their teams better right off the bat. It's like they're not trying to waste any time like the shit that we used to see before. So your GM has to be active in today's NFL. Shady Likes to Eat says, y'all should be worried about old Jerry. Worried about Jerry Jones? I don't think we should be worried about Jerry Jones. Dude, when it comes to the Cowboys, Shady Likes to Eat, If the Cowboys get good on defense, they could legit be a threat in the NFC. They could. They could, dude. The way their offense played this past season with Shoddy, I'm like, shit, all they need is for their defense to play good. Now, I mean, when they got rid of Micah Parsons, I frown upon that. You know, they added people, and right now, some people would argue it's like, well, did the Jets win the trade or did the Cowboys win the trade? I'm like, well, after this year, whoever the Cowboys draft and how they play, that's what will determine who won that trade, in my opinion. And especially if Mike is not healthy. If Mike is not healthy and the Green Bay Packers, you know, they're like losing this shit, their defense isn't playing good because their DC left to Miami, um, they could be in trouble. And that would make for the Dallas Cowboys winning the trade. But it's all something that we gotta just let play out, you know. Miggity Mars says Jerry would likely move up for Love. He loves splash moves and wants a new Zeke. Would they though? I don't know, man. I don't know. Cause here's the thing, dude. So let's look at their roster overall right now. But they just signed their running back to like a 3-year extension. But I will say this: you make a good point. Jerry Jones doesn't give a fuck, dude. He would do it. He honestly would do. I could see him doing that, even though they signed their running back to an extension. Shady likes he says George is getting moved during the draft. Is he okay? So here's the thing. Do you think do you think George Pickens is going to get moved during the draft, or do you think the Cowboys are going to try to play this freaking like cat and mouse type game, like trying to figure out the whole contract shit, trying to get George Pickens to sign the franchise tag, talking about a long term extension, and then they just don't end up doing that. Then they trade him right before the season. Because I could see that. I could see it during the draft, but I could also see it right before the season. You just never know with Jerry Jones. Their front office, they don't make any sense sometimes. Miggity Mars says he just wants the headlines. Hell yeah, he wants the headlines. I do. He wants the headlines. I do think that he does want the Dallas Cowboys to be competitive though and go for a Super Bowl before he passes away. I do. But the Jones family, they just do some weird shit. They just do some weird shit. And how crazy would it be if the New York Giants, like with picks 5 and 10, if they just instantly made their defense better? Like their defense really is not far off from being like kind of like a tough outing for an offense. But how crazy would it be if the Giants made their defense like pretty damn solid off of this draft, and the Dallas Cowboys, their defense just doesn't play good? That'd be crazy. Shady likes to eat says y'all division stacked, and I forgot y'all got the commies in the division too. Yeah, dude, we do, and um, the thing with the Commanders going into this last season, this thing something I talked about. I was like, dude, they're like an old ass squad, and you'd see people like make fun and say shit on like social media, but it was true. They're too old now. If they revamp their squad, they still have Jaden Daniels, and Jaden Daniels, he just needs to stay healthy. Yeah, Miggity Mars said it. If Daniels can stay healthy, then it's a rough division. Exactly. If Jaden Daniels can stay healthy, the whole NFC East, if Jackson Dart can just be decent, the whole NFC East is gonna be hyper competitive. It will be. Like the days of my Birds just kind of walking all over everybody. I mean, I've seen the Commanders. We watched the Giants beat them last year, right? I've seen the Commies beat them. I've also watched the Dallas Cowboys beat them, of course. So I'm not saying those teams haven't been competitive with them, but it's been pretty clear the past couple years, past 3 to 4 years, the Eagles have been pretty damn good, right? Except for 2023 where shit hit the fan. But the NFC East is couple tweaks and this division is highly competitive. And I'm going in, as an Eagles fan into these matchups with like anxiety. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going into these like, oh yeah, we'll just probably walk all over everybody. It's like, no, dude, like we got shit to figure out too. Like, is Brown staying? Is he going? Are we drafting wide receiver? Is he leaving? How is the offense gonna play? Just a lot of things going. But yeah, the NFC East. it could be pretty nasty this upcoming year. Could be pretty nasty. It just matters on a couple things. Cowboys defense, Jaden Daniels' health, and I don't know, Jackson Dart and fucking Matt Nagy, who I don't believe in. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Giants fans. I just don't believe in Matt Nagy. I don't believe in Matt Nagy, especially leading Jackson Dart. Hopefully, Jackson Dart, his talent just overshines whatever the hell Matt Nagy's going to be doing. But I mean, we watched it with Patrick Mahomes for like 2 years after Eric Bieniemy left. What was it, 2 or 3 years after Eric Bieniemy left? It's like the Chiefs' offense had zero identity, zero, and it'll be interesting if they're way better with like Eric Bieniemy, and then if the Giants suffer. But hopefully Jackson Dart's like talent can like outshine anything that Matt Nagy has planned. I don't know about that though. That's kind of crazy. You need good coaching. Phil Yates tweeted and he said, absent a trade back into the first round, this will mark just the second time in franchise history the Bengals will not make a first round pick. The only other instance was 1989. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Miggity Mars says Chiefs offense is all Andy Reid, not Nagy. You don't think Nagy had like any like influence on that though? Because I do. I agree with you. I do think it's Reed, but I'm like, I don't know, dude. Shit was kind of weird while Nagy was there, in my opinion. I don't know. I dispute that a little bit. I dispute that a little bit. Let's see what else we can find on here. So teams without a first round pick in this upcoming draft are the Bengals, the Broncos, the Colts. Ooh, that's interesting. The Colts, the Jaguars with the Travis Hunter trade, Falcons, and the Packers. I feel like the Packers could use a first round pick too. One, two, three, four, five. Hmm. 6 teams in the first round that aren't gonna be thinking that aren't gonna be picking. That's kind of interesting. Miggity Mars, some input, but it's all Reed. Nagy has been a fine OC, just a bad head coach. With Harbaugh leading the way, I feel good about it. Possibly. Possibly. Okay, but tell me this, Miggity Mars. So okay, let's just say not as a head coach, as a OC, he's good, right? Um, how do you feel about that though? Because like we see CEO head coaches, the coach that doesn't call offense or calls defense, and John Harbaugh is a CEO head coach. Now he has heavy influence right on each side, but I'm just saying he is a CEO head coach. So the young DC, is it young DC? I'm trying to think. Who is your guys' defensive coordinator? It's somebody new, right? Somebody that wasn't like he wasn't on John Harbaugh's staff, or was he with the Baltimore Ravens? New York Giants, DC. Who is it? Denard Wilson. Okay, yeah. Is the defensive coordinator for New York Giants. Hired and replaced Shane Bowen. Previously served as Tennessee Titans DC. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like Matt Nagy's just gonna have to show up and be good, man. Because like I said, John Harbaugh is a CEO head coach, and when you are a CEO head coach, you are very, very coordinator dependent. We literally watched it with Harbaugh while he was at Baltimore. You know, so that could be pretty interesting. Shady likes to eat. Can we do a live mock draft? Yeah, we can try and do that. We can try and do that. Maybe. I don't know if I'll get that done before Thursday though, bro. Sorry. I don't know if I can get that done before Thursday. You can give me another suggestion for a video though. I can make a video. I just don't know about a mock draft. So I just don't know how many lives I'm going to be doing between now and Thursday. But be sure, hey, by the way, anybody that's in here, be sure to check out my Nick Emanwari video, dude. That is one of my favorite safeties in the league right now. Emanwari is so good, bro. I think he's like already a top safety in the league. I'm not saying he's, better than some of the guys that are already at the top, but I was really blown away by Nick Emanwari this past season. Dude's a freak athlete. What is he, like 6'3", 220 pounds? Yeah, I say all that shit in my video. Just check it out. Just check it out, my videos. 6 teams. Oh, Shady Likes D says, yes, bro. Emanwari equals Derwin James. Dude, he's so fucking good. Like, as a rookie, he was insane. Like, when I saw him locking up Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, I was like, what? McNeil Warrens? Bro, who's that? McNeil Warrens? Who's that? See, I learned shit from other freaking football fans, bro. This is what I love about talking with other fans. I don't know everything. Oh, okay, the guy from Toledo. Yeah, Quinyon Mitchell's former teammate. Yeah, he's kind of a freak too, huh? I'm interested to see what team he gets drafted to. What does it say right here? 6 teams with multiple first-round picks. Jets, 2 and 16. Giants, 5 and 10. Browns. Dude, the Browns always have multiple. The Browns always have multiple picks in the first round. I feel like not every year, but yeah. I'm not trying to dog on Browns, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Browns fans. Browns have 6 and 24. Chiefs 9 and 29. Ooh, the Chiefs though. Dolphins 11 and 30. Cowboys 12 and 20. 6 teams with multiple first round picks. Like I said earlier, dude, sometimes those first round picks, they just don't matter to some of these teams. They're just willing to unload the clip. They're like, well, we want a proven player. We don't want to worry about some young guy coming in and possibly not being good, which is totally acceptable, right? Like I understand it from the Cincinnati Bengals standpoint. Chiefs may move up. Shady Likes to Eat says, I wouldn't doubt it, especially like what I talked about earlier. Beach said that he's expecting like fireworks in the first round. And if he's saying fireworks, he's talking about other teams. So I'm like, what the hell is going to be happening on draft night? We always go to Buffalo on draft night, too. I kind of walked back on Dexter Lawrence a little bit, though, because I was kind of down. I was like, I don't know how much better that's going to make them. That could be pretty good for the Bengals. That could be pretty good for the Bengals, but I walked that back. They they need anything on that defense. They really do. So this trade was necessary. And I bet Dexter Lawrence, bro, he's probably gonna have a little bit of swagger, a little bit of edge to his game this upcoming season. You know what I mean? Especially having a down year. Shady Likes D says, I'm gonna be mad if we take Ty Simpson. If the Steelers take Ty Simpson, boos will fill the stadium in Pittsburgh. Dude, okay, so Shady Likes D, I made a video and I talked about how I thought that Malik Willis should go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Doesn't Malik Willis make so much sense going to the Pittsburgh Steelers? Dude, until you guys figure out this like quarterback situation, you guys are gonna be stuck in quarterback purgatory. And your team is gonna be stuck in purgatory. Just average. You know what I mean? Just like solid and average. Can make the playoffs, probably not going to win a playoff game. That's the way I feel about the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's very frustrating. That's why I think um, I'm like, shit, man. I'm like, the Steelers could find somebody in that next draft. I'm pretty positive of that. Well, unless somebody takes him, of course, we just don't know. Shady Likes to Eat says, yes, him versus Lamar. Dude, Lamar's been getting a lot of heat. Why the fuck do people give? Okay, so I know this is the Eagles fan. Why do Jalen Hurts if fucking Lamar Jackson gets so much like shit. I understand that Jalen is not as good as Lamar Jackson. I feel like he's good in his own way. But why do those two constantly get so much hate from the media, dude? It makes no sense to me. But yeah, right now people are talking and um they're saying how Lamar, like, unless they get a deal figured out in extension, he possibly might not be on Baltimore. And I'm like, I'm not gonna go that far and say that. But I feel like those Baltimore fans are more ride or die for Lamar than any other team, any other player on that team, if I'm being real with you. And especially over all those coaches. They would riot. They would literally go crazy. If the Baltimore Ravens got rid of Lamar Jackson, literally one of the top four quarterbacks in the league, they would fucking riot, dude. Shady Likes D says, I hate to be that guy, but it's because there's talent. They're talented black men at the quarterback position, and it's not normal for people. I ain't gonna say nothing because I don't want people to fucking jump on my shit. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. Shady Likes to eat. Damn, bro. I feel like just look at the updated picks. It's crazy. Okay, what does this say? NFL on ESPN. They're saying the Giants' young core now will add two top 10 picks in this upcoming draft following Dexter. Yeah, dude, and I'm like, you guys should go defensive. I was talking about it earlier, wide receivers, and I still think that could be in play for for the New York Giants. But I'm like, you guys have a real opportunity to like make that fucking defense gnarly, you know? Shady Likes D says, like Hurts does everything right, and yeah, he is supported by a great team, but what do you mean he's on the hot seat? He's not on the fucking hot seat, dude. I don't buy this shit. I don't buy that Jalen's on the hot seat. I really don't. Like, I mentioned it in the last stream, and the last person in the last stream, me and him were going back and forth in the chat, and he was agreeing. Like, dude, Howie Roseman, like just the language, the way he was talking about Jalen and saying how he's disappointed, some of the things people are saying about Jalen, I buy it. Like, I don't buy that they're just like wanting to get rid of him. And then you see Adam Schefter, he's like, everybody's talking about Jalen Hurts' contract. He's like, I think that's interesting. He's like, why is nobody talking about Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow's contracts that literally signed around the same time and they're going to be coming up too? I thought that was very interesting how Adam Schefter brought that up, especially from a Cincinnati Bengals standpoint. If you're a Bengals fan in the stream right now, because if your guys' team isn't good, what are the possibilities that Joe Burrow could possibly not be on your guys' team? Like maybe he doesn't want to sign like another contract or possibly being traded. I don't know. We just hear a lot of things as it pertains to Joe Burrow. So if you guys go out and be bad, I'm like, shit, Joe Burrow might not even be on the Bengals. And then you look at Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert can't win in the playoffs. Like all these quarterbacks have flaws, and people like to be so selective of what they want to talk about. You know what I mean? And then there's so many double standards that it comes to when it comes to quarterbacks. It drives me absolutely nuts, man. I just look at all of them and I'm like, I see each of them as like good in their own way. Now we have guys that are clearly bad, right? Like we watched a young Anthony Richardson. He literally can't pull this shit together. He's just not a good quarterback right now. But yeah, dude, people really like to get crazy when it comes to quarterback talk. It's pretty interesting. Shady Likes D says he's lying. He also said they want to keep AJ. You think that the Eagles want to trade AJ, huh? I think it's 50-50. I think it's 50-50 that the Eagles trade AJ Brown. But dude, if they fucking trade him to the Patriots, bro, shit will get real. Shit will get real. I don't think they're gonna trade him to the Patriots based off of all the shit that we've seen with Diana Rossini. But that's just me. That's just me. All right, guys. That's it for today. I'll try and hop on another stream. Try to probably won't do a mock draft. Probably won't do a mock draft before the draft. But hey, I'll hop on here after the draft and we can like talk about some shit. But appreciate you guys coming on. Be sure to watch this video obviously after it's posted and whatnot. Be sure to check out my Nick Almanwari video. Please check out that video. Freaking love that dude. Anyways, guys, I'm outie and I'll catch you on the next one. Oh, hold up. Shady Likes D says, I think it's 100% after the receding thing because I think she and Braidable had some arrangement and she's been the first thing to AJ Brown. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm like, that shit ain't happening because I'm like, there's some collusion there, in my opinion. But yeah, man, appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate everybody in the chat keeping it super live. Yeah, man, I'm outie and we'll catch you on the next stream. Be sure to subscribe, hit the like. I'm outie. Deuces.